Your brain is truly amazing. It is the control center for your entire body, managing everything you do. From breathing to dreaming, your brain is in charge. It weighs about 3 pounds, yet it holds your thoughts, memories, and personality. This complex organ works constantly, even when you sleep. Understanding its basics is key to understanding drug effects. The brain uses billions of tiny cells called neurons. They talk to each other constantly, forming a vast network. Neurons send signals very quickly, controlling your actions and feelings, and processing information from your senses. How do these neurons communicate? They use special chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. Some manage your mood like serotonin, while others are involved in learning like glutamate. Dopamine is another crucial neurotransmitter, playing a big role in pleasure and reward. This delicate chemical balance is vital for health. When this system works well, we feel good, think clearly, and make decisions. But this balance is very delicate. Introducing drugs can disrupt it severely. Drugs can change how neurons send, receive, or process signals, leading to profound changes in brain function and structure. Deep inside your brain lies a special circuit known as the reward system. This system is designed to make you repeat healthy behaviors like eating, drinking water, and socializing. When you do something good for survival, it activates, releasing a chemical that makes you feel pleasure. This encourages you to do it again. A key part of this system is the ventral tegmental area, or VTA, located near the base of the brain. It is a cluster of neurons that produce a neurotransmitter called dopamine. When something good happens, the VTA releases dopamine, which then travels to other brain areas. From the VTA, dopamine travels to the nucleus accumbens, often called the brain's pleasure center. When dopamine arrives here, you feel a sense of reward, a pleasant, satisfying sensation. Another important region is the prefrontal cortex at the front of your brain, involved in planning and decision-making. The prefrontal cortex receives dopamine signals too, linking the pleasure of an action with the memory of it. This entire pathway works together, guiding your behavior towards beneficial things. Drugs of abuse have a powerful effect, directly tapping into the brain's reward system, but in an unnatural way. They cause a much larger release of dopamine, a flood far greater than natural rewards. Eating your favorite food might cause a small dopamine increase, but drugs can cause it to surge 2 to 10 times higher. This creates an intense feeling of euphoria. Let's look at cocaine, for example. Cocaine works by blocking dopamine transporters. Normally, these transporters recycle dopamine, removing it from the space between neurons called the synapse. Cocaine prevents this reuptake, causing dopamine to build up in the synapse, continually stimulating the receiving neuron. This causes a prolonged and intense high, overwhelming the brain with pleasure signals. Heroin, an opioid, works differently, but with similar results. Heroin is converted to morphine in the brain, which binds to opioid receptors involved in pain relief and pleasure. This intense, drug-induced euphoria is a powerful deception leading to serious problems. When the brain is repeatedly flooded with drug-induced dopamine, it tries to adapt. It senses that there is too much dopamine, so it starts to make changes. It might reduce the number of dopamine receptors or produce less dopamine naturally. This adaptation is called tolerance. As tolerance develops, the drug's effects become weaker, and the initial euphoria is harder to achieve. Because of tolerance, the person needs more, taking larger amounts of the drug to get the same high they once felt. This is a dangerous escalation, increasing the risk of overdose and putting more strain on the body and brain. Over time, this can lead to physical dependence. Dependence means the brain and body have adapted, now needing the drug to function. Without the drug, the person feels very unwell. If the drug is stopped or reduced, withdrawal symptoms occur, often the opposite of the drug's effects. Withdrawal can be physically and emotionally agonizing, a powerful motivator to continue using the drug. Section 5. Counting the cost-lasting harms of specific substances. Different drugs inflict different kinds of long-term damage. Cocaine, a powerful stimulant, takes a heavy toll. It can lead to severe cardiovascular problems. Think heart attacks and strokes even in young people. Chronic use can cause paranoia and psychosis. If snorted, it damages nasal tissues. If injected, it risks infections and collapsed veins. The brain itself can suffer from reduced blood flow. This impairs cognitive functions. Heroin and other opioids are depressants. They slow down body functions. The most immediate danger is respiratory depression. This means breathing can slow down or stop. This is how overdose deaths often occur. Long-term use can lead to collapsed veins. It can cause abscesses and infections of the heart lining. Constipation and liver disease are also common. Brain damage can occur from repeated oxygen deprivation during overdoses. Nicotine, found in tobacco, is highly addictive. Smoking is the leading cause of preventable death. It causes lung cancer, emphysema, and bronchitis. Nicotine also damages blood vessels. This increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. In teenagers, nicotine can harm brain development. Section 6. Addiction's grip when choice fades away. Addiction is more than just physical dependence. It is a chronic, relapsing brain disorder. It is characterized by compulsive drug seeking and use. This happens despite severe, harmful consequences. A person with addiction loses control over their drug use. The drug becomes the main focus of their life. Responsibilities like work, school, or family suffer. It is a complex condition that changes the brain. The prefrontal cortex is particularly affected by addiction. Remember, this area controls judgment and decision-making. In addiction, its function is severely impaired. The intense drive from the reward system overwhelms it. The ability to weigh risks and rewards is compromised. The desire for the drug becomes incredibly strong. It overrides rational thought and self-control. This makes it very hard to just quit. Cues and triggers become powerful drivers of relapse. These are people, places, or things associated with past drug use. Even stress or certain emotions can be triggers. When a person encounters a trigger, it can cause intense cravings. This is why recovery often involves learning to manage these triggers. Section 7. Rewiring for recovery. The brain's amazing ability to heal. Despite the damage drugs cause, there is hope. The brain has a remarkable ability called neuroplasticity. This means the brain can change and reorganize itself. It can form new neural connections throughout life. It can also prune away connections that are no longer needed. This ability is not limited to childhood. Adult brains are also plastic. This is fundamental to learning and memory. Neuroplasticity is the key to recovery from addiction. While drugs can hijack the brain, they do not destroy it completely. With time and effort, the brain can begin to heal. New healthy pathways can be formed. Old drug-related pathways can weaken. Recovery involves actively rewiring the brain. This process takes dedication and support. It is a journey of rebuilding. Behavioral therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT are effective. They help people identify and change negative thought patterns. They teach coping skills for cravings and triggers. Healthy habits also play a vital role. Exercise, good nutrition, and mindfulness can all support brain healing. The brain is slowly learning new ways to function. Section 8. A path forward. Knowledge, hope, and healing. We have seen how drugs can powerfully hijack the brain. They disrupt its delicate chemical balance. They take over the natural reward system. This can lead to tolerance, dependence, and addiction. The consequences for health and life can be devastating. Different substances cause specific, serious harms. Addiction is a true brain disorder. It changes how a person thinks and behaves. But the story does not end there. Understanding the science of addiction is crucial. It helps us see it not as a choice but as a condition. This knowledge can reduce stigma and fear. It can encourage empathy and support. Knowing how drugs affect the brain empowers us. It helps us make informed decisions for ourselves. It also helps us understand what loved ones might be going through. The brain's capacity for neuroplasticity offers immense hope. Recovery is possible. Let's embrace science, offer compassion, and believe in recovery.